Hello, 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 and welcome back. Here we find ourselves in the game. There was a little bit of a tech delay. Obviously, we are working on the sort of back end of what Korea can give us, and Korea's given us Talon versus WEBL.
This is going to be a very exciting game, of course. A lot on the line. Whoever wins this moves on. Whoever loses it is going to be having to find just a little bit harder to get themselves at a spot at the majors. This is basically the reality of things. And thus, well, you want to make sure that you're going to take that first map into your hands. And WEBL, they have, of course, played it. Have won it before as well in the league. So that's maybe why they went back here. Again, La Vega must definitely feel a bit comfortable in here.
I mean, it's also that they won it against Talon. You look back to the R6 Summer Cup, and it was the opening play day, and it was an 8-7. It was a WEBL win. It was, you know, a map that they're familiar with. As Manic said, they don't have a very deep map pool. It's only been about 3 maps. Here is where that's going to get tested. And, you know, if they lose this, the series is done. If they win this, there's still a high chance the series is done. On my money, they are truly the underdogs, and it's going to take more than just naps lighting a fire for the team right now and clutching out.
Definitely agree. You need the entire team to show up in these situations. You cannot rely on just a singular person to show up the entire time.
Attackers have discovered the location.
I've had that with teams in the past, and well, they might do well for 1 or 2 games, but as soon as the best of 3 comes on, that's when they start struggling. Talking about that. Oh, actually, we have English calls on the compass. I was going to say, like, everything so far has been in Korean, which makes it harder to read.
I think that the precise rooms might be.
Oh, but the exterior is called exterior, and the rest is in. Okay.
Attackers are
I guess we'll see. Yeah. Oh.
We'll find out.
I've never. I've done it on the Japanese broadcast, but I've not done it on the.
Yeah, it's Korean. Okay.
So, we start our approach here onto the copious amounts of top down. Looking into Chalet, looking into WEBL trying to do the mark on their defense. They have had an unfortunate habit of getting themselves into overtime. They've won, but the longer that happens in this sort of series, the longer that happens in this sort of stress and stretch now, the more likely you are to fall down. Because, as you said, you know, if you lose, it's done. But, oh, there's the way of starting it. Whoever is losing these matches, you're done. You're down to the sort of 5th place match. You will have no opportunity to get it. Only those grand final teams are the teams that will progress, and you've got Sandbox and D+ ahead of you.
Yeah, they already have that bye, of course, waiting for them, and once Talon started it off early, taking down TJ. Is not looking good at his very first round. Ryder will take down 1, a down coming down onto Naps as well. Suddenly, a bit of explosiveness coming through in the middle of that site. 5v2. As they're finding themselves with the top 4 under control. It's only up to Ran right now. He's in the west main area, finds 1 kill as a jump in comes in from Royal, but they know where he is now. Finds a 2nd, not the 3rd, as it gets shut down right after.
A strong opening for Talon. They took it so clean. They have the prep on that hold. They knew exactly what they wanted to sort of tear apart there as soon as they started breaking through and against it. And, you know, it was a sturdy put together. For context, I know I cited the last time these 2 teams met on this map. It was a very attacker-sided map. I think it was both teams were able to get 4-2 halves on their attack. So it's still a lot to play for. It's still Chalet. If WEBL can try and get themselves 3, then they might be able to do the distance on their second half.
Now let's hope that that first round was just a warm-up round. That's something they had to shake off, because that looked very, very dominant from the sides of Talon. They just opened up some walls, started firing at them as the rotations came through. C4s were trying to be attempted to toss back. Players were aware of it, fell back. Nothing really hurt them until the last player was left standing in West Main, jumping in, not knowing where he is. Whereas it takes 1 gunfight before you can localize that player and really collapse the top of them. So we need to see a bit of a better fight coming out in this round if they want to have any hope of finding themselves with 3 rounds or even 2.
Second swing, second take, and look at this pace. Sayora They instantly wanted to see if there was somebody having a cheeky look over the side, but there might be a bit of a quick statement here. If you're looking for this control over the site, you have to get the vertical in. You've got to get yourself control of the library and start angling down, read what is ahead of you. There isn't any pressure outside of the Brava going around on the back end. We'll see teams try and get a break up and sort of pull some of the attention away towards the fireplace, but it seems like Talon, as I said, JLT's already in. Ryder's already got the kill on the back end. They're just driving deeper and deeper. There's another take, and WEBL just don't seem prepared. Another one falls on the back. DJ's holding on to what is sort of nothing at this point. Drone does come roll through, but nobody's tried to put pressure behind it yet.
Plant's already going down in the meantime soon. 45 seconds will be on the clock, and it's only up to TJ now in a 5v1. The second one, but this time a flawless round for the side of Talon, and again, a very, very quick round to come through right there. Talon not taking any prisoners. They just walk in, get the kills, make sure that they're distracting those who would be watching, and actually use their utility against them. You saw it out there with the Azami barrier. Was allowed to just sneak in right behind it. No one had a clue.
It is played like a team that's dedicated. You can't really fault that. The pace was so high. They knew what they wanted to do with that site. Whether it's just, you know, deep prep, whether it's just the expectation of, look, this team doesn't play many maps. We know how to beat them on the maps that they're going to take us to. This is, I guess, that punishment is if you have a thin map pool, even if you come to your best, they can be learned. And Talon, I mean, that is a well-learned attack.
Definitely is, and again, like you said, it seemed like they just weren't ready for it. Talon just allowed to walk into the building for free almost in multiple of these occasions. I mean, that could have been the second flawless round in a row there. So
5 seconds to go.
wow. Get going with the next round. It's going to be the bedroom, actual top floor this time. So we've had kitchen, we've had games on the first floors. Now it's going to be up on the top floor. Saw this being quickly taken by Talon in the first round as well, but the actual site is there. There might be a bit more utility around, more focus from the rest of the players, which could make it more difficult.
The worry is that sort of 2 rounds, 2 kills. I know I said it before that they've had naps coming huge for them. They've been able to get, you know, as I said, multiple clutches, 1vx's. They are the only positive player on the roster, and they're actually quite high in the overall rankings. They're higher than any of the Talon players, but the rest of the team isn't. It's a real struggle for them to have a team-sided strike, and, well, a little bit of a freeze up, but...
I was going to say that with the only one.
No, that is us getting it. Oh, just a perfect execute there. Tears their head off of the rotating player. The pressure's coming in from the windows on the back end. Talon are just playing with WEBL's holds.
Well, that's it right now, and they've cut it out in half as well. There's almost no way of rotating back towards the B bomb site now due to the way that it's being held. Yes, of course, it can hold into the windows, but as you see already on the outline, Talon is already in. I believe they might be going for a plant very soon as flashbangs come in. 45 seconds soon to be counting down yet again. And who's there to respond from WEBL? Absolutely no one.
A post plant with 9 players on the board. Royboy suffers the scrape on the next. They're able to at least get the kill out, and they might still get the player picked back up. Nope. There's Naps with the swing onto his first of the game. Can they build on the back of that? Looking likely. 42. They have full window control. They have another one caught. That's 3 people that have pretty much fallen towards the double window. 2 of them just rotating past. And WEBL need to call a timeout soon because they're looking a little bit lost.
We're going to go for or at least requested a rehouse for drone issues. So that might be what they're going to go for right now. But I believe that the players are still not allowed to talk during these kind of timeouts. So they need to have an actual tactical if they want to have a shot at talking to each other and fix what's going on. Because in that round we just saw, Emmy, the player on the double window just cuts down the side and half. There's nothing they can do. They cannot rotate past because they get picked up. So what do you do in such a situation? Well, either you use utility to get rid of that player. Maybe a run out from below could have worked as well from Trench. Or just something else to put pressure on them. But as soon as the first buddy fell, Talon was free to just move into the side, get that plant down, and not have a worry anymore for the rest of that round.
Oh yeah, I mean there has to be something else. You can't. It's you say it's unfortunate, but it just looks unprepared.
It does.
Didn't have the call on the plant going down. I said it before that we've had Talon be a really, really good objective team throughout the league so far, throughout the tournament so far. They've been able to get it down, whereas WEBL have struggled on that respect. And if the awareness in the gun game goes away from them, I mean, this could be a very quick series.
This could be a very first quick map indeed coming through as well, and then it is to wonder whether or not the second map is more prepared. But that is a Talon map. They've won it twice in the groups already. So it kind of does make me worry. I mean, as you said, like, you lose the first game, series over probably for WEBL. So
Oh,
100%. We are
100%.
wrong. Especially
And
if they lose it in the fashion they're currently losing it in. Like, I hate to say it, but those first 3 rounds look very sloppy.
It's also
and fully unprepared.
I think that's the thing, is if you go through WEBL's sort of recent history of maps that they play, you know, across sort of teams that they're comparative to, across competitive to, it's usually either chalet and a performance, occasionally they'll pull something on a different map, or they get a bit blindsided against other teams. I mean, they played Oregon against BNA not too long ago, and they got close to OT, but again, you know, BNA is a team that when you've sort of been able to put the stress in and the test in before, and then you're coming up against what is a stronger opponent,
Attackers have located a
it
bomb.
worries you, the second and the third.
Should definitely worry them. So, just looking at the setup now, we are back in the kitchen. The last time we saw Talon take a very heavy top approach, managed to take that control within, let's say, 30 seconds. And there was only one person left alive who was on West Main. What are they going to change? Now, we see a top floor hold coming through, reinforcements as well. But the thing is, do you really want to hold on to it that much if it just seems to be losing your control so quickly? Maybe they need to just be more aggressive, because what we saw is Talon, they open up a window, they sit in it, they get 4 kills from it, and then there's one person left. So what if you take the fights outside to them? What if you just try and challenge them, make them uncomfortable on those windows, rather than just let them have it?
I mean, let's be honest, there's been, what, 3 rounds and they've got 4 kills. You know, they are struggling to have an awareness of where the fights are coming from, but B, the preparedness to take the fight itself, and it's so awkward. They have to try and pull that away. The pressure starts to come across. It's such a good 3-2-1 bang, and it's exploded. 2 players dead. Naps gets 1 back, but then there's suddenly a second tied onto the end of it. Cannot find a route out. And that superstar player is gone. They've done a good bit of buying this round back in, but now it's down. Coupe and Ram.
Good double kill to come through. Sadly for him, Ryder was too far away for the impact to actually finish him off. He was already on 1 HP and ran now on the other side of the staircase. There's actually a player out there, Sayonara, who is going to be waiting for him. He's going to go on the drone. Verticalities being made as well. That's definitely going to be making him feel a lot more uncomfortable. And as Misa finds Ran, I believe there was a C4 that popped off in the meantime as well that didn't actually find anybody. And now, to that mute, up to Coupe. The last man standing is going to go aggressive. Gets spotted out. Misa is downed. But instantly afterwards, the response comes in from Sayora. And that is just a quick play on contact here. They knew where he was coming from. It's just a quick cleanup.
You can almost see the frustration there at the player cam in the end. You can see that there it is, the tech timeout. They're not getting anything clean. As it reads so well from the game of Talon that they know what to expect. They know what they're up against here. It's not just that it has been 4 rounds in a row. It's been 4 very quick, very dominant rounds in a row.
The last one was definitely the closest.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it was a good attempt, actually. Like, from Ran behind on the half wall, it's a difficult position to clear out. So he definitely played that well with his life out there. Found 2. But he knew the pressure was on, tried to escape. Well, didn't know there was someone already around in the hallway next to him.
Well, that's
information.
Naps, and that's how Naps is played. As you said, they have a huge amount of 1vx clutches, but you cannot just have that because a team, you know, it's often said if a player's on their day, how do you beat them, right? If a team is this coordinated, that is kind of how. They had that preparedness. They were able to get the first 2 kills, and then however many of them, 4 of them, were in the top floor, completely surrounding that player. Not even Rambo could get out of that situation, my friend.
To be agreeing with you there. Although, would make for a great play and movie.
If Rambo gets it, well, Rambo is in a different Ubisoft title. There's a whole little Rambo mission in a Far Cry game.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it must be Far Cry, or like
it is. Yeah,
definitely not Assassin's Creed. So
no, I don't think he quite fits the
Attackers must locate and defuse
the setup. If you're going with
Steam.
classic action,
Snap's disconnecting.
Oh, that would be
very,
terrible.
Very, very bad. Okay,
But
back.
if
He was
it was
just
cool,
standing
okay,
in place
he's
when
back.
walking.
If it was sort of called at the start of the round, they would at least be able to. Ooh, actually, no, they've used attack. I don't know if they'd be able to rehost at this point.
I think as soon as the prep phase is over, you can. Right away, Talon. 4 very dominant rounds in a row. Looking to make that 5. And the drones, trying to see if there's any information. Just the default kind of play you would expect from a pro team. Now they're getting information on the player out there. There is going to be a serial laser gate that's stopping a direct grenade to come over towards Naps, but that can, of course, be wasted by, well, using a drone or one of your other grenades. At least he's taking a fight outwards. There was actually a player there. I'm not quite sure if he saw. Flashbang's going around the corner as well. GLT moves in. They're going to try and take him down very quickly here, and that's just a clean kill into Naps.
And there's a second removal. Instantly, there's just this consistent follow-up from Talon. It really feels like every time they've made an impact in one place, they have a joint one happening somewhere else. It might just be a room over. Sometimes it's a floor under. But either way, it's so consistent. And it's putting that moment of WEBL not really knowing where the next fight's going to come from into even worse of a situation. A minute 30, they've been able to take the opening 2 kills. They've exploded over the top. They're going to start seeing if they can try and force the pressure onto the site itself. But, you know, they're still not taking anything to chance. They're still weighing up all their routes.
Another spot's coming through. The first smoke canisters are out as well. There's 2 more left. Shield being swallowed, but there's no one right behind it, so that means no one will have to worry about that. And Talon most likely have a very good opportunity of just waltzing into the piano and seeing what they can do there, especially with Ryder taking out TJ. Coupe is about to fall from the door as well. 1 HP. He's looking to take the fight aggressively, but he's stuck in his place out here. There's no way he can move back out. The last man standing now, and the second flawless round for Talon. That's not looking great. Or is that a third already? I think it might be a third flawless round.
I think it's only a second. I've only got it down as a second.
Yeah, I've written it down as a
But then
second as well. But
I also cannot read Korean. So I'm
there's
going
also
by...
only 4 kills. I believe round 1 and round 4 had both double kill.
I'm going by my memory of
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
what I've seen. I mean, Talon are playing this like a team that has a more important game up next. They're playing this like an inconvenience. They're playing this like a warm-up. And that's
this kind of it, right? Like, they are supposed to be the 3rd team in this league. And there's only 2 buys. So what do? You just have to dispatch whoever's in front of you to get to that second part of the playoffs here. And so
this
far,
isn't just
dispatching is going quite well.
This isn't just dispatching. This is brutalizing. Because it's so punchy. You're looking at ways that Weeble can bite back into this, and there aren't any. Weebles wobble and they do fall down. It's insane. I realize that's a reference to a toy that you might not have in the Netherlands.
What is it?
Have you ever heard that catchphrase? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down?
No. Oh, I haven't.
There's going to be like, I don't know if they ever left the UK. I think they had it in America as well. People being like, yeah. And you and your Netherlands toys, like bicycles.
Wooden clocks, that's what we have.
And clogs. Hey, they get the opener. Weeble have been able to draw first blood. Can they try? dig their teeth into and take a second. It's the first time we have seen this statistic go away from Talon this game.
A great opener. Finding the gun as well. Grenades off the board and great gun. These not finding anything, and now there's something they can maybe act upon here. Maybe translate into a round. Of course, all the other rounds have been super one-sided, and getting that opening kill is definitely going to be helping you, especially with these pings coming down. They now know about round's position.
Well, there's Roy Boy getting revenge for the kill earlier, but as I said, usually there's this multifaceted strike, and that hasn't been able to follow up. That grenade does some damage to the Exami barricade, and Sierra does some damage to his face, and they're inside. Then they're going for the plant.
Yeah, they also know above the player that is... Oh, actually, the swing comes around. Royboy not there with the cover. Needs to swing. Doesn't get the kill on the second attempt, but he finds that diffuser, goes for the plant attempt. Ryder holding the top floor under control. He's going to be making sure there's no vertical cover to come through. Misa with the 180 is not actually going to be confirming. A team kill to come through on the planter is quite questionable from Ryder, as he puts himself into a 1v1 position. His drone caught in a mute jammer. He needs to find Ran. Star player WEBL. Displaying this from the pantry. On the corner, activates the serial laser gates. He's limiting the angles that can actually push from here. Ryder slowly creeping around to see if he can find just an angle, just a slip of the Azami. He does! Doesn't quite get the kill though. Could be very problematic here. He tries to go through the flashbangs.
The hair! The ponytail!
The ponytail gives it away! And that was the best attempt that was there for WEBL to get around, but the ponytail.
Oh no.
Tactical ponytail, not so tactical this time.
And I know you sort of said Rand's a star player of this game maybe, but you have to remember they're minus 15 across league play. They are one of the worst rated players in the whole league. So them being in those pressure situations, it's a worrisome thing for WEBL. If they're having the best game of the team, if anything for me, that raises questions for the rest of the roster in this game.
All right. Onto the swap then. Attack is up next. And as mentioned, Ran indeed being the one that is currently leading the charge for the team, that does leave you worried for the rest of it. Especially by how Talon have been playing. They've been playing so convincingly. Except for that little one team kill they had in that last round. That could have thrown away that round and given it to WEBL. But they managed to salvage it in the end. The ponytail coming to the rescue.
If they that's a frustrating way to go. That's like playing hide and seek and like your foot is hanging out and you're like, this is the perfect hiding place. Needless to say, they've got a gun pointed at you. Very aggressive
Talon
hiding.
To the defense. Very aggressive hide and seek indeed. WEBL. So things didn't connect last time, and on attack, it's kind of known that everything needs to connect if you want to find yourself at success. So it needs to be a completely different kind of showing from you here. As the drones do confirm one or two of these players in their positions, there's no action upon it just now. There is like inactive holds around. They are looking through windows, but Talon doesn't have a reason to start moving, so they're not moving into those crossfires.
WEBL might be able to get some success here on their attack. They were a better attacking team on Chalet, but it's still a flawless task that has been put before them. It's still a flawless task against a team that only 2 players have been able to get more than 1 kill.
Now, a lot of drones and utilities being utilized as well. So Yoris coming into the back, finds the kill onto TJ as well, and will find a trade. But instantly afterwards, it's Talon just showing up big and telling them that this map is going to be a 7-0. WEBL has not been given an opportunity to perform here. Instantly ran over and destroyed. As it's only up to Naps and Inno now. There is an opportunity. They can still bring it back. It's going to be very difficult for them. As they start opening up, they put the Excaris on the wall. Both players still outside the building with a minute left to go. They need to make a move on quickly.
At this point, you are sort of just getting your head ready for Oregon. As sort of cruel as it is to say, it has been a wash here on Chalet. And whatever prep you put into this game, they've obviously done enough prep of their own. You hope that your expectations of going to Oregon, you hope that your prep there is going to be something to carry you on. Maybe that gamble I said with Talon, choosing to go to Consulate as the third map, that might end up helping WEBL. By some error of a margin. If the book has been thrown out, maybe they'll throw in some new game. The Xeno goes down. The star player naps is all that's left against players that have gone, I can't even do the maths in the time. At least 30 kills to about 5 deaths. It is a slaughter.
It is a very, very good result for Talon in their first map. A very convincing one. And, well, the only question you can now ask is how are you coming back from this, WEBL? You have to prepare your 5 minutes before we head to Oregon. That's a tall ask.
Well, we'll throw it to a quick break before we're back with map 2.